Good morning. I wanted to share something with you this morning that crossed my mind the other day. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. Please share my channel. Please comment whether you agree with me or not. I love having you here. Thank you so much for being here. I love it when you comment and share. Thank you. So today, what I wanted to share, it has to do with the grass being greener on the other side. I notice that when I am wanting to, and again, I'm going to use the word manifest, but what this really means is I'm living my life now. The past is the past, it's gone. I'm living my life now. I want to live in gratitude for what I have now, but I also want to think about, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? I don't want to dwell too much in the future to the point where I'm kind of eliminating my gratitude for now, but I do want to be thinking about my future and where I'm headed and what I want. So, that can be kind of a fine line. It can be a tricky balance between being satisfied, happy, grateful in the now, and fully embracing the now, taking all of it in, living in a sense of wonder, living in a sense of joy, just knowing that all is well right here and now. But then there's another part of us that says, what's next? Now what? Or maybe if the now is bringing with it challenges, or the now isn't exactly what we want it to be, which is often the case, we might be living in a now that isn't necessarily the now that we want it to be. And so we want to look forward to better days. So in the whole process of what's called manifesting, or basically I like to just call it opening up our reality, just using our thoughts, taking every thought captive. And when I say to the obedience of Christ, that means to be in alignment with the Christ consciousness, with what Christ taught us. We are one with God. We are one with the all. We are loved. We're valued. We're supported. We are unlimited beings living in a limited world experience. So that's the Christ message in a nutshell. I mean, I didn't just read the entire Bible to you, but that's basically what Christ came to show us. So when we take our thoughts captive in obedience to that, we're aligning ourselves with who we truly are, that unlimited being who is loved and supported and valued. And in that, when we're walking in that kind of strength and power, which is the strength of the Holy Spirit, when we're walking in that, then we open up our lives to bring joy, peace. We learn things like patience and kindness. We learn things like forgiveness. We learn, we grow, we become the best versions of ourselves as we're walking along. So life in our future isn't always about, what do I want? What will make me happy? It's not just me, because I would be living in ego if all I wanted were, for the world to just bend its will to make me happy. But I also want to be the best version of myself. And I think a great deal of what we want for our future should mostly be to want to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Now, are we ever going to 100% fully achieve that in this lifetime? No. This is what our goal is. It's what our journey is about. It's about, achieving that over time. But we don't become perfect, but we should, where, it helps us and it helps bring us joy when we want to strive to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And in being the best version of ourselves, that means being in alignment and connection with all others. And when I say all others, that means being at peace with everyone, being a peacemaker. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to allow ourselves to be walked all over by people who mean us harm. It doesn't mean that we have to accept things that aren't good for us or healthy for us. We do learn to create boundaries that protect our own peace. We are well within our absolute right to be safe And to be healthy and to, have happiness, we need to make sure that that we're not, sacrificing our own health and our own happiness, to thinking that we have to be walked all over by somebody else. But again, it's not just all about us either. But when we learn to walk in the highest version of ourselves, what ends up happening is, and this is where manifestation comes about, everything in our existence just starts to agree with that. When we start walking in the highest version of ourselves, all of life just starts to kind of morph and mold itself into what supports that. So in my other videos, way back, I've talked endlessly about, science and quantum science and the structure of the universe and how all of that kind of works together, and how all things do work together for our good. All of those things, but the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be given to you as well. And I think that this really sums it up. When we seek first the kingdom of heaven, which is that alignment with our highest selves and that togetherness with the one that is all, when we're seeking that out, all these things will be given to you. So all of these things just start to happen, manifest in our lives in support of that. So the goal is not to, it's not to hate where we are now and just look toward the future. It's not to love where we are now so much that we're creating a comfort zone that we never want to go into the future. Our goal is to find that balance of both, to find the joy or even the smallest joys in where we are now. If life is hard for us right now, find the little things. I have a cat. I've had good times and bad times, but I've had my cat. And I love my cat, and he's been a joy to me, and I'm grateful for him. I've had times when I've had a good job and I really appreciated my job. And then I've had times where I didn't have work, but I appreciated other things. Maybe I have a good meal, or maybe, I'm just grateful for the beautiful fall leaves. Right now it's fall. Or maybe I can just walk outside and have the sunshine on my face, or whatever it is, even the smallest things, that we can find to be grateful for. We want to live in gratitude. We want to live a life where we are content, happy, and we are living in joy where we are now. At the same time, if there is something that you see that that could expand, by all means, balance that out and live in that as well. So I wanted to share this. I wrote some things down here, and I said, it's fine if you want things. If you want things for your future, as long as you're not comparing that new future to the now, to the point where you're shedding a negative light on the now. The balance is to say, for instance, okay, so I have a job and I'm not exactly making the money that I want to make right now yet, but I'm content, I'm well fed, I have my cat here, I'm happy, with my life. Things are going well. I have a beautiful place to live and companionship, and I have friends, and I've got my family, all these things that I'm grateful for. But I know that I could be going places in another direction, and I know things could be getting better for me. So how do I balance those two things? Love my life now. Also know that I have value and that I can use that value. How? In my job. Fill in the blank. I can picture myself helping other people within my job. I can picture myself, being a light to other people, or I can picture myself. Some people say picture yourself with money falling out of the sky, or with wealth and all these things. I choose not to picture money. I just will let money come to me as I'm picturing being in alignment in other ways. But that's entirely up to you. I mean, if it works for you to go to bed at night picturing money falling into your wallet, then that works for you. But for me, I just take each day and I wake up and I say, how can I be the best version of myself? I can get on the phone, do my job. When I connect with another human being, I can be a light to that human being. and I can enjoy doing that. And the more I enjoy doing that, the more I enjoy it, rewards will start to come. And I have seen rewards start to come from that. And as rewards start to come, I'm grateful for those. And as, things open up and I see more things happening and more things, coming to light, I'm grateful for each thing as it comes along. So I picture myself traveling, and I would love to be able to travel. Now, am I traveling tomorrow? No. Will I be traveling a year from now? Maybe. I don't know when I'm going to travel, but I do know I'm going to be doing some traveling again. I traveled before and I'll do it again. Just because I'm not doing that right now doesn't mean that I can't be content to be where I am now, knowing that traveling is on its way. So, just to try to keep that balance between where you are now and where you're going to be, it's best to be grateful for the things you have now. And at the same time, imagine all the possibilities out there that are going to bring you joy, that are already bringing you joy. You can live in joy in the now, and you can be living in joy for the future that hasn't happened yet. And you can do those things simultaneously. I also wanted to share not to get wrapped up in one particular option and lament your current situation in exchange for a future fantasy. And that's very important, that we don't just say, oh, I'm here, but I want to be there. And then you start to aim for, I want to be there and it has to look like this and specifically that. And, and then you get so attached to that outcome. You don't ever want to be so attached to one outcome that you're gritting your teeth and just worrying about, is that outcome going to happen? Or even if you're attached to a general outcome, try not to worry about whether that's going to happen or not. And the Bible is clear about that too. It says, we don't want to say, I'm going to go to this city or that city. You want to do that if the Lord will that. So I can say, oh, I'd love to move here. I'd love to be able to go there. There are so many things that I come up with in my daydreams. I want to go to Budapest. I would love to, travel here and do this and do that. There's so many things I want to do. And sometimes that changes on a daily basis, but I still have those core things. I definitely want to go to Budapest one day. There are definitely these core things that I would love to be able to do, but I'm not gripping onto them so tightly that if it doesn't happen, I'm just going to be miserable. So we want to have, a very healthy daydream life. I think that's the best way to say it. Be grateful for where you are now and have a very healthy fantasy life, a daydream life, and let your daydreams be fun, not so serious. Don't grip onto those daydreams. Just let them be fun. Let them bring you happiness. Feel what it will feel like. I sometimes look at other people's pictures and I feel what it'll feel like to be walking around in Budapest. And it's fun for me to do that. Will I ever do it? Hope so. But I'm not gripping onto it to where it's so important to me that I will just not be okay if it doesn't happen. So try to be lighthearted about your daydreams. The way that I wrote this down is have an easy breezy feeling. And I like those words, easy breezy. Have an easy breezy feeling about your current situation. Just be easy breezy in your life. And at the same time, keep that feeling about how wonderful it's going to be to enter into that new and exciting chapter ahead. And daydream away. Daydream about that new chapter ahead. Just daydream. Let it be a dream. Let it be fun. And it is possible to do these things simultaneously. It takes some practice. It can take some practice. Some people get it down right away and some people have to work at it. But if you can do those things at the same time, I baked pies the other day, and for me that was just fun. I really enjoyed it because I haven't been baking. I was living in a small apartment where I didn't have an oven that I really liked, so I wasn't baking. And I'm really having a good time baking, just that little thing. But at the same time, I do allow my mind to just drift off into fantasy land about, things that I'm going to be doing in the future at some point. And I just have fun with it. So you can do those things both. Don't be disappointed and upset in where you are now, wanting to get out of where you are now and go into the new phase. And don't neglect the new phase by getting stuck in a comfort zone of where you are now. Do both. So I wanted to share that with you today. I hope that helped somebody out there, and I hope you're all having a great day. I will see you next time.